Picture this. You're scrolling through social media, sipping your morning coffee, and suddenly, bam, you come across a comment that feels like a personal attack. Your heart races, your stomach tightens, and you can't stop replaying their critical words in your head. It's as if your peace just got hijacked by a random stranger on the internet. Sound familiar? You're not alone. In fact, 40% of adults in the US have experienced online harassment or negative remarks that felt crushing. But here's the big idea for today. No one else's words, and I mean no one's, can define who you are. Not your coworker's snarky comment, not that internet troll's rant, and definitely not your second cousin's offhand critique at the family cookout. The trick is learning how not to take these remarks personally. Ready to dive into the how? Let's go. 1. The unseen filter of assumptions. We often respond to remarks through a warped lens of assumptions. Imagine wearing sunglasses indoors. Your vision is distorted, and you keep bumping into furniture. That's what assumptions do to us emotionally. We interpret every joke, comment, or remark in a way that reinforces our insecurities. Ever had that moment when your friend says, "I noticed you've been busy," and you instantly take it as, "I'm a terrible friend because I'm not available enough"? That's the assumption filter at work. My childhood friend once joked, "You're always so serious." My immediate interpretation? I must be a total drag to be around, ignoring the fact that it was just an off-the-cuff comment. The next time you sense someone's words hurt, ask yourself, is this me reacting or just my assumptions interpreting? A short pause and gentle self-questioning can save you from a lot of unnecessary grief. 2. The power of perspective. Legend has it that Albert Einstein once said, "Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one." It might sound cosmic, but it's also profoundly practical when dealing with personal criticism. Each of us operates from a private universe with unique perspectives, shaped by upbringing, beliefs, and experiences. Picture two co-workers at a meeting. One sees direct feedback like, "Your report needs more data," as helpful guidance. The other sees it as a harsh put-down. Who's right? Both. Because perspective is everything. Why it matters. When you realize that people's words are filtered through their personal experiences, you stop recycling negativity into your own story. It's no longer, "My boss thinks I'm incompetent," but rather, "My boss has high standards, and he's offering me a chance to improve." Try perspective shifting. Next time someone says something that stings, imagine you're them. What might they be feeling or experiencing that led them to speak this way? This small exercise can transform your emotional response from anger or hurt to empathy and even curiosity. 3. What science says about internalizing criticism. Here's where we get a little brainy. Our brains are wired for a negativity bias, a phenomenon confirmed by multiple psychology studies, including research from Dr. Roy F. Baumeister at Florida State University. Essentially, negative experiences and comments have a stronger effect on us than positive ones. This evolutionary quirk helped our ancestors survive. It was more important to notice a menacing bear than a friendly bunny. But in modern life, it can make offhand remarks feel like existential threats. According to Harvard Business Review, it takes about 3 positive encounters to outweigh a single negative comment at work. That's how sticky negativity is. Counter the negativity bias by flooding your day with small positivity boosts. Keep a gratitude journal or send an encouraging text to a friend. These little actions act like a shield, strengthening you against the random negative arrows that come your way. It might sound cheesy, but it works, and plenty of science agrees. 4. Strengthening your core beliefs. Have you ever tried building a house on shaky ground? Good luck keeping those walls upright. The same principle applies to your self-esteem. If your self-worth is on thin ice, everything that people say feels like it could punch a hole in your identity. But with strong, stable self-beliefs, those same words glance off like rubber. Early in her career, J.K. Rowling was routinely rejected by publishers. Many might have taken it personally and given up, but she believed her story was worth telling. And eventually, the Harry Potter series became a global phenomenon. Why it matters. A strong sense of self-worth prevents you from crumbling at every sideways glance. You realize your value isn't up for debate. It's inherent, unshakable, and not dependent on other people's opinions. Practice identity affirmations. Each day, jot down at least 3 positive statements about yourself. They can be as simple as, "I am resourceful," or "I bring kindness to my relationships." Over time, this daily ritual rewires your understanding of who you really are, independent of external noise. 5. The art of letting go. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. In his book, The Four Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz emphasizes, don't take anything personally. It's a principle that reminds us how most of what we hear have to do with the speaker's own interior world. You can just let it pass without letting it hook you. Think of negativity like an uninvited party guest who shows up early and tries to change the music. You don't have to give them the AUX cable. You can politely smile, nod, and keep the party going your way. Simple technique, the thank you strategy. When someone says something that could ruffle your feathers, calmly say, "Thank you for your feedback," then move on. It may sound robotic, but it conveys that you heard them without accepting or rejecting their statement. This method quietly reasserts your emotional control. 6. Setting healthy boundaries. Taking things personally often arises from blurred lines between what's ours to carry and what isn't. Maybe you have a well-meaning but overly critical family member who loves to comment on your life choices, or perhaps a colleague who thrives on gossip. Either way, you have the right to protect your mental and emotional space. Why let someone rent a room in your head for free? Practice a diplomatic boundary phrase, such as, "I appreciate your concern, but I have it under control." Repeat it like a broken record if necessary. Eventually, they'll get the hint that your mental real estate is not open for occupation. 7. Small steps that make a huge difference. So how do you integrate all these insights into daily life? Start small and be consistent. Take a mindful pause. Before responding to any remark that might trigger you, take 3 deep breaths. This short circuit breaks the automatic reaction cycle. Self-check at day's end. Write down one moment when you felt triggered and ask, could I have interpreted that differently? Or, what can I learn from this situation? Celebrate wins. Congratulate yourself for every time you sidestep a personal dig or refuse to react. Over time, these small acts add up to a monumental shift in your emotional resilience. Conclusion, your call to action. It's time to free yourself from the emotional yo-yo that comes with taking everything personally. Think about it. If J.K. Rowling had listened to every snub, if Einstein had let disbelief in his theories weigh him down, or if that random social media troll had controlled your sense of self-worth, where would we be now? Remember that change is 100% achievable with consistent small steps. The next time someone's comment rings in your head, pause and ask, is this my truth or theirs? The more you practice questioning assumptions, shifting perspectives, harnessing science-backed strategies, and affirming your self-worth, the easier it becomes to brush off negativity like lint on a jacket. You have the power to protect your peace, set emotional boundaries, and preserve your inner joy. So start today. Take that mindful pause. Jot down your affirmations, greet negativity with a thank you instead of internalizing it, and watch how your life transforms when you decide that no one else's words can define you. Because in the grand scheme, you deserve the freedom that comes from not taking everything to heart. And once you taste that freedom, there's no going back. So let's keep the conversation rolling. Reflect on those times when you allowed someone's words to rule your emotions and challenge yourself to do better next time. After all, the only person who can truly decide your worth is you.